Hello again. Welcome to Independent Investor. My name is Kirk, presenting with
Ambrose Omodio.
Yeah, we're glad to be here again to talk about the economy and the market. The economy, something interesting seems to be happening because over the weekend, the Bureau of Statistics released the report for inflation, and inflation seems to be petering. We're going to examine that, and we're also going to look at the global oil market, the oscillation in prices, and how they will affect our local markets and the economy in general. What is more, this is the earnings season. We expect, or as a matter of fact, some companies have started releasing their results. Ambrose is going to talk about these. But first of all, let's look at inflation. The numbers fell down to about 16.1, I guess.
Yeah, it's a positive economic data that investors are really expecting. And seeing the figures still dropping, it's a sign that the price of goods are relatively also going down. Despite that, the food items still remain in the north direction. But the impact of CBN intervention in the foreign window of the foreign exchange market is really reflecting on the manufacturing sector, because for price of goods to be going down, that means the manufacturing sector are really getting access to this dollar, and at the same time their goods are leaving the shelf. That's why we're seeing a price coming down, which are reflected on the inflation figure. For me, it's a good number for this, but we expect that we are going far lower to like around 15.85 now, but at around 16.10 is still also encouraged. That means we're expecting by the end of July period, we'll see another, because the way it's getting are going, that we're seeing that CBN has consistently intervened in the market, making funds, the dollar available in the foreign exchange market, which is good for us as a nation. That means for manufacturers can still have access to bring their raw materials at a good rate, because if you compare the rate they were bringing before at 420 naira per dollar and 365 or 68, the difference there, that will reflect on the prices of goods.
So what you're saying basically is that most of the inflation we see is imported inflation?
Yeah, actually, before now it's important because when you exchange a dollar for 500, actually what you are bringing in, you have to sell at the price to make a markup on your prices. On that note, I think now that we are seeing dollar coming down gradually, it's going to impact. But the thing that we are really confused that if we are entering the harvest season and we're still seeing food items going up, I think it's not too healthy for us. That is why I always tell you that charity begins at home. If we want to boost our foreign reserve in terms of dollar, which we wanted to now start import and exporting yam. Before we think of exporting yam, we should first of all take off Nigerians before we start off exporting our yam. And if we want to export yam, we should expand the cost of production. Many Nigerians that are unemployed, especially youth, encourage them to go into farming. Then when we have enough, we have a house for ourselves, we're now thinking of exporting yam.
Yeah, you took that yam thing just out of my mouth, because we needed to achieve some level of local spread, sufficiency, before we talk about exporting. And now that you export, the prices of yam
exactly
facing the north, like you would say. So, still talking about international markets, since we've started talking about exports, let's talk about the oil market. Oil prices seem to be oscillating so much, there's so much uncertainty, hitting about $46, almost $47 now. So, what does this portend for our market?
Our own is becoming peculiar now. If you look at the production cut or supply cuts, before now, Nigeria and Libya have been exempted to be exporting as possible as they can produce. But they say that now Nigeria and Libya are now also increasing the supply. They want to cut us now. But the good thing is that if we have a good output, in terms of Nigeria data, we're having a bit stability, the peace is coming there gradually. Now they want to, if they go and say, let them reduce Nigeria, the only good thing is that if they can remain, the price can remain as high as 47, that means we are above our benchmark for the budget 2017. And at the same time, that the peace will continue. Before now, in 2016, 2015, we are complaining that because even as then we are producing a low output, the price was as low as $28, $30 then. But now, even though they are cutting at this size and we are still selling around $47, we are still not too bad. That is why, as a nation, we need to diversify. This is the time to really diversify from oil sector. Let's look at the non-oil sector and boost it so that it will be that, like the idea of exporting. Yeah, I'm not against it, but let's tell them that if we want to export anything, let's have enough within the nation, and people are here. Okay, before you can now use, before you see countries like US, China exporting anything, you make sure that this thing is available right there in their country before they can start exporting. Well, that means as a nation, if we want to go into agriculture, we need to make everybody, both state government, to be involved in agriculture, and we have enough yam. On that, we're also boosting our reserve. They will not be depending on only the crude oil to be part in our reserve. We will not have another agriculture sector imparting reserve, which is what we want. On that good, I think we should this time work on our master plan, and also the government should stop doing the talk and let them take action, because I think there are a lot of talk here and there. We need action at this point now so that the economy will feel the impact of the government. If by now we're already in July, the budget spending has not really started, and the year will soon run out in the next 6 months again, then we're going to make the impact. They need to really come out. If when they're having shortfall in terms of revenue, the one we are having, make use of it judiciously. Let's see that this area is where we are fixing. Like I tell people that, like what happened in the training yesterday on Saturday, that there are major sectors that if government can just concentrate on it, I'm telling you, they're coming to move to the next level overnight. Why? If a businessman, you are using almost 80% of your cost is coming from power, and if by tomorrow government fees power, that means naturally that area is solved. Then if a farmer, you want to bring your yam from Ibadan to Lagos, it take you hours because of the bad road. But if the road is good, you can easily bring your, and the price will also come down because there's no stress on it. These are the things we need to do. Let's give the infrastructure, let's work on it. Then you're focusing on tax alone for revenue. You need it because the oil side is not giving enough reward. You have to give people incentive for you to get enough. If you want to really bring more people to the tax net, you need to give incentive, just encourage them. Even those that have not paid before, encourage them. If it comes to the time that you should just want to forgive the past, let them start paying. These are how to, because in the system before now, most of us don't know about tax. I'm telling you. That means we need to go educate them. Let them say that that way you both will be raking in money for the government to so execute their plans. And at this point, I think government should really sit up. Let's do the action, not the talk. Because if you look at the economic recovery plan, growth plan for government, it sounds very sweet, good. But what have been achieved since March that plan came out? It's not like having plan, you're carrying your plan around. No. What have you done with the plan?
Are they even carrying the plan around? Most of them don't even know what's inside the plan. Yeah. Now, you've talked about tax, which is revenue. Right? It brings us back to the recent pronouncement by the Minister of Finance that government will stop borrowing.
Okay.
How does that sound?
If we want to stop borrowing as a nation, it's good to stop borrowing, but do we have all it takes to meet even the need we have here? Because if you don't have what it takes to meet, you don't borrow to pay salary. You borrow to develop your infrastructure that will drive your economy. If your economy is moving, so it will attract both foreign funds and local funds to the market. But if the economy is dragging feet, funds will leave in your country to another country because everybody wants to maximize the little they have. That means we need to put our economy on the right track so that it will attract foreign and local investors to the market.
Yeah, from my little knowledge of economics, borrowing is essential in any economy.
It's essential. You can't totally lose that, but if you can reduce your borrowing, that's what you mean. You can't say you can't borrow. Yes.
So you
can't just don't reduce your borrowing. That's the only thing.
And everything boils down to the deficit. How wide or how narrow the deficit is.
Yes.
That will determine how much you're going to borrow and to what extent you're going to borrow.
And also, even when you are borrowing, you're borrowing for something that is tangible. You're not borrowing to pay salary. You're not borrowing to buy the president's visitors' food. You're not borrowing to buy the National Assembly visitors' food. You are borrowing to invest in the economy. The one will make the economy look robust, that people will come and invest with. That is the most important.
Yeah, great. Enough on the macro economy. Now let's talk a bit about earnings. Earnings season is here again, and companies are supposed to be declaring profits and losses. We hear about 2 companies also have
Yes. No, for those that for December year end, the month of June is the end of their half-year performance or half-year result. Okay, they were expecting that, and we have a statutory deadline for listed company. If you are to release your quarterly result, you have 30 days. If you are ready to do your full year result, you have 90 days. These are time for you to prepare your number and make it available, because it's part of your pre-listing requirement that you need to make your result available to the investable so that they will assess the performance of the company. Like I always tell people that personally, I don't assess a company performance because they have assets or they have numbers of cars or their MDs earning billions. I don't assess the company that. I assess the company with your bottom line. At the end of the day, after you have paid your tax, your management, what is left for the investor? Because the investor are the one that put the money for it to be there. If the numbers are interesting, it will attract interest to the company or to the stock. That means that good number is what everybody is looking at. And this season, because it's a reporting season, people are looking at, can these numbers support the current prices, this equity are trading on the exchange? And the two that came especially for Q2 is Unilever. And Unilever number was fantastic. The result stand out. But the only thing that when we relate the price of Unilever and their 96 kobo earning per share, you say it's small. But if you look at where they are coming from, you appreciate the result, and we will expect that more of rider will come so that the price will appreciate, or the earnings will support the price to level. But knowing where the economy is coming from, a recession to a recovering stage now we are, I think to me that result is good. But the only one I see there's some misperformance there is the United Security. If you look at their number they released on Tuesday last week, their top line was up while their bottom line was down. And last year, this period last year, they sold assets, their investment in one of the insurance company, which impacted on their profit and also on the bottom line. And they paid good dividend for 2016, 50 kobo dividend. But on the strength of 33 kobo second quarter earnings, that 50 kobo will only be maintained if the remaining half of the year they're able to meet another 40 kobo to make it empty before they can pay. I mean, if not, they might be paying something less than what they did in 20. Investors also analyze this number. Where can I still hold my position here? Can I? But the only good thing is that because it's an investment banking arm of the market, I think I see UCAP doing well going further, especially if the budget is being implemented. Because I will tell you that the bank are not they are the ones that will benefit much from it. Once government started disposing money, who dispose money on the air, the money has to go through, and as a person, as an exchanging hand, they are collecting their commission here and there. On that note, I expect that their result might look good before the end of the year. But if you're a long-term investor, you can be thinking to be buying, or you wait for the price to pull back before you position.
Yeah, absolutely. And it turns out that in economies that are recovering, the second half is always much better. We hope to see more action from the FMCGs,
Exactly.
and security companies who are going to advise them and make investment for them. Yeah, it's been an interesting one with you today, Ambrose.
Thank you very much.
We're going to stop here for today and see you again next week. Thank you very much.